I'm Dr. Natalie Phillips, host of Just Connect, a show where we chat about connections through social media, learning opportunities, and through the people we meet every day. Join me every Wednesday on Facebook Live at 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am an audiologist, a business owner, an entrepreneur, and a connector. This life is about connecting for the right reasons and to the right people. I believe making authentic and true connections lead to growth, change, and impacting the world. All right. Well, welcome to Just Connect. I am Dr. Natalie Phillips, and I have a super fun topic today that I want to talk about. And, we're going to talk more about routines and rituals. And we tend to use the word routine very often, when we ask people about what is their daily routine, what's your morning routine. The word routine is used a lot. And I wanted to kind of focus on routine, but also on the word ritual, because I have a little something to share with you about rituals. And so, I wanted to talk a little bit more about routines, rituals. So when we talk about routines, we usually ask people about what your daily routine is or what is your morning routine. And by definition, a routine means a habit that gives form to our daily lives. So it's like brushing our teeth, it's changing our underwear, it's eating at specific times, it's maybe making an appointment. Hello, Anthony. Thank you for joining me today. We're talking about routines and rituals. And I want to talk about the difference between a routine and a ritual. So routines are typically things that we do on a daily basis that sometimes we don't have to put any thought into it. I have a little graphic here. I'm going to see if I can get up here. And yes, it's going to be in front of my face for a little while. But, I want to talk more about routines because routines require discipline. And it begins really early on in life and it sustains us as we age. And creating a routine usually gives us a sense of security. We're relieved because we're relieved from actually having to decide on when and how to do some small, unimportant activity. But the difference between a routine and a ritual is not necessarily the action of doing something, but the attitude behind the action. So to many, a routine is getting up every morning, like I said, eating breakfast, brushing your teeth, taking a shower, everything that we do on a daily basis. But rituals are viewed more as meaningful practices. So a ritual is very different. It's sometimes defined as a ceremony or an action performed in a customary way, but it's a set fixed action that's performed regularly. Any act done regularly without thinking about it, really. So if you look kind of at that chart that I have there, really it's kind of talking the difference between rituals and routines. Hopefully you guys can screenshot that to save that for later, is really putting your mind to something versus not putting your mind to something. And so I wanted to take that down, but I wanted to talk about why I thought this was so important to talk about. And I wanted to talk about the last time that I was in to have my hair done. And I know for some of you who are tuning in that it is not necessarily something that, you're like, well, I don't have a lot of hair, but I promise you, I'm going to tie it all in. It's going to make a lot of sense. So stay with me. Anthony says, my ritual is to tune into your live every Wednesday. Thank you, Anthony. You know what? Anthony is such a great supporter. He tunes into so many lives and he also has his own show as well. Anthony, I would love you to put your show up in the comments on when you go live because you interview some great people. And so going back to my experience of rituals, I was actually getting my hair done and I was having a problem with, as you can kind of see, let's see if I can find an end piece here. And my hair stylist is going to just crack up because we were talking about this and I said, okay, my ends of my hairs are really dry and I don't want to have to wash it every day. And it's driving me crazy. And she said, well, there's this thing called, have you ever heard of, she said, ritual brushing. And I was like, what? What is that? I'm like, I don't know, and I learned so much by talking to people. So we delved into what it was, and she explained it to me. So I wrote some things down and I actually looked it up too to do some research because it helped me create kind of a thought process through this. And as we kind of talked through it, I told her, I said, you watch. I said, I'm going to make this an actual topic that I'm going to do because I think that it's super duper interesting. Okay, so ritual brushing of your hair. Okay, hang in with me. I promise it's going to get good. Okay, ritual brushing of your hair means that first of all, we go back to, if you have long hair, you probably heard the old saying that you need to give your hair or your locks at least 100 strokes a day to keep them shiny and healthy. Okay. Well, this goes back to the olden days where people rarely washed their hair because the soaps were kind of harsh and it would ruin a person's hair. So people instead brushed the dirt and oil from their hair every day. Hello, Laura. Good to see you here. And yes, Anthony put up his shows. So thank you, Anthony. Okay, so talking about ritual brushing, Laura, for those of you who have just joined, I'm talking about routines and rituals. We talked about how routines are some of these brainless things that we don't necessarily put our minds to every day, but we do it. So that would be brushing your teeth, getting changed. Rituals are actually more where you put your mind to it, and you're actually... it's actually making you think about what you have to do because you're doing it intentionally. Okay. So, but I'm talking about why this came up in my topic of what I wanted to talk about. And we're talking about ritual brushing of your hair because I was getting my hair done and I was complaining how the ends of my hair by like the second day get super duper dry. It makes me frustrated. And my hairdresser talked to me about ritual brushing. So I'm going back to talking about the history behind stroking or brushing your hair 100 times in a day. It's because they were trying to move the dirt and the oils out of their hair. Well, she told me that sometimes this new ritual brushing is what they're saying is because you're trying to get the oils and things that have sat there for a long time down to the ends of your hair. So kind of the same thing, but you're kind of getting it to the bottom. And she said to try it out. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to do that. And Leanne Ryan Smith is here. Yay! Because Leanne is the hair person. And so I wanted her to actually chime in on this topic because I want to know what you think. Because at first I was very, very skeptical. Okay. So ritual brushing. So the reasons why you brush your hair, okay, so much is number one, hair brushing acts as a form of a cleanser, reducing the amount that you need to wash your hair and keeping your scalp soothed. Okay. Number two, hair brushing stimulates oil glands and certain hormones which help normalize nutrients and reduce hair loss. So cleanser, stimulator. Hair brushing, number three, hair brushing assists in eliminating buildup on the scalp, important for those of you with irritated scalps and lack of volume. Cleanser, stimulator, eliminating buildup. The last thing I saw was the massaging action of hair brushing boosts blood and oxygen circulation to the scalp, which increases hair growth. Okay, hair people, chime in. So Leanne, please, yes. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Okay. So again, reasons why you brush is because you want to cleanse, stimulate, eliminate buildup, and boost blood and oxygen circulation. Okay, Leanne is chiming in. This is awesome. Okay. The natural oils being brushed down the hair shaft is an ideal way to condition the hair. All natural. Yes, that's what my hairdresser said. Okay, so how we did this. Okay, I totally did this last night because I wanted to try it before I actually talked to you guys about it. I did it last night. Okay, but it's crazy. So how you do it is there's actually a correct way to brush your hair, and it's way more than just like a quick run through. Give yourself 3 to 5 minutes per brushing, so about 3 times a day, 3 to 5 minutes, and make the most of it. Hair brushing can be a wonderfully relaxing thing to do, so why not combine your me time with some meditative thought to get the day going, pick you up in the afternoon, and prepare you for a good night's sleep. Okay, so why do we brush our hair? I'm telling you, please hang in with me. I know it's kind of crazy. Why do we brush our hair? Because it cleanses, it stimulates certain hormones to reduce hair loss, it eliminates the buildup, it boosts blood and oxygen circulation, And you can fit some me time in there, me time, like meditation or whatever, just some downtime. Okay. But why is this so important? I know you guys are like, okay, come on. Like, I'm not even thinking about hair, right? Okay. Why is it so important? Because I want to focus it back to rituals, focusing it back on the rituals that you do in your life and in your business. Okay. What is something that you can do intentionally? Because ritual brushing and rituals, remember, is intentional. So what is something that you can do intentionally to cleanse something in your life or your business, to stimulate or boost circulation, which could be, maybe there's new ideas. You know, the idea that I was thinking of, or the image that came to my mind on stimulating and boosting circulation is like, imagine having one of those snow globes, you know, and there's like sand or something on the bottom and you shake it up. And then when you settle it, when you put it down and it settles, maybe some of this little sand bits, kernels, whatever they're called. Oh my gosh, this is awful because I grew up in Hawaii. Those little, you know, the sand, right? Some of the ones that may have sat on the bottom might now settle to the top. And so what can you do to stimulate and boost the circulation so that, you know, in your life or your business where you can shake it up and then some of these new ideas that you may have buried below kind of come up to the top of the surface again and lay very gently saying, hey, look at me. Remember my idea? Or remember this thing that you were going to do? So what can you do to stimulate, right? What can you do to cleanse something in your life or business? So cleanse. What can you stimulate and boost in circulation? What can you do as a ritual to eliminate buildup? So for me, what I thought was, are these like getting rid of things, jobs, obligations, or people that are cluttering your life or adding some negativity to your life? So what can you do as a ritual to eliminate this buildup? What can you do as a ritual to spend time on yourself for 3 to 5 minutes? Okay, to let these thoughts and let these ideas marinate. I love the word marinate because sometimes we just have to take a step back and we just have to kind of sit there and let something marinate before we just keep going boom, 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 boom. And I am like that. I keep moving all the time and sometimes I forget to sit still. All right, so it may not be ritual brushing, right? But maybe it can be a vacation. Maybe it can be a break from your phone. Maybe it can be checking out on social media for a while. Maybe it can be sometimes just a review of your friends that you have on Facebook, or maybe acquaintances, or maybe even who you hang out with, or who do you go to for advice. So all those things, I want you to start looking at what can you do as a ritual in your life and in your business to cleanse, stimulate or boost circulation, to eliminate buildup, to spend time on yourself, okay? Can you take at least one of your routines and make it into a ritual? And do you think that we need both routines and rituals? So I totally believe that we need both. Okay. Let me see before I talk a little bit more. I want to read some of these comments here. And Leanne says scalp cleansing and scalp stimulation to encourage circulation and hair growth is vital, just like going to the gym for your hair's health. Yes, Leanne. Anthony, you know I'm a loyal guy when I am choosing staying on this live when you were talking about all this girl stuff. It is not girl stuff. Yes, it was with the hair, but it is not girl stuff. So I'm glad you hung in there because I had some great points about relaying what I learned about ritual brushing into making your life and your business into more of a ritual and spending time in and on in your business. And he says, yes, but sometimes people let things marinate too much. Exactly. No, I totally agree. I totally agree on that one too, Anthony. Okay. All right. So routine and rituals. Do we need both? Okay. So routines reinforce our sense of control over our everyday lives. And it helps us organize our time, right? It's like, okay, well, let me get all the stuff that I need to get done before I go downstairs. This is what I tell my kids. So don't you be going downstairs unless you wash up your face and your teeth, get your hair done, get everything done so that you don't have to necessarily come back upstairs, right? So it gives us sort of a, yes, we're talking about hair, Frank. We were talking about hair, but you'll have to go back and watch the replay to figure out how my ritual hair brushing is tying in to the end of the difference between routines and rituals. Okay, so routines definitely give us a little bit more organization in our life, right? Organizing our time, creating schedules, making sure we get things done. But routines, things that we do in our routine life, like are things that we don't necessarily give our mind to anymore. And it's something that we just kind of do and we don't think about it, right? But it's still good because it gives us an organization. And it gives us form to our daily life. But rituals connect us to our community and to society in general. Rituals actually expand our horizon beyond daily requirements, right? So we really need both routines and rituals to sustain us and to help us connect to others. And so I'm hoping that this all made sense. Either that or you guys are going to think I am totally crazy. But I really wanted to point out the differences between routines and rituals and how we really need to also focus on what can we do as a ritual in our life and in our business. And so with that, I want to remind you, I have something here that I created here. Okay, so I want to remind you, if you've missed any of my episodes, I now have a YouTube channel where you can go in and on number 1, it says search for Dr. Natalie Phillips. When you find it, you can go hit the subscribe button, number 2. And then number 3, don't forget to hit that notification bell so that it tells you when I drop a new YouTube video in there. And then the next thing I wanted to show you was, and most of you already know this because you're here, but for those of you watching on the YouTube channel, I'm Facebook Live on Wednesdays every 5:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So go and search for @Dr. Natalie Phillips. That is my handle name. Number 2, don't forget to go to following. And number 3, hit see first. And then also turn on your notifications for that. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know it was really crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Kristen Tibbs is my dear friend, and she used to be my hairdresser. She's probably just laughing about my ritual hair brushing. So I'm so glad those people that are interested in the ritual brushing, try it. So what happened? Okay, to end this all, you guys are just going to laugh. So I totally did it last night because you're supposed to spend 3 to 5 minutes brushing your hair. Okay, like me, I don't ever have time. I'm like, whatever, just get the knots out, right? I even bought what we call a wet brush. And oh my gosh, it's so good in untangling, detangling, your knots, right? So I'm usually really quick, but I decided to actually do this ritual brushing, and I did it for like 3 to 5 minutes. And you really have to comb all the way through your hair, then you flip your hair over and you comb it backwards, and then you comb it over like this way, and then you comb it over the other way, and then you do it again. Like I literally was like, okay, is it 3 minutes yet? But I did it. And then in the morning, oh my gosh, like literally I felt like I conditioned my hair. And so I took a picture, I took a selfie, and I sent it to my hairdresser, and I was like, okay, you're so right. I go, look at my hair this morning, and she loved it. So anyway, that was my whole thing about ritual brushing. That is what actually made me look up routines and rituals. So I have to give a shout out to my hairdresser, Paige Lutz, from Voltage Salon, because she was the one that talked to me about that. And I was like, you watch, I'm going to make this some content to talk about, because I think that I can relate this to what we do in everyday life and in our business. So thank you so much. Anthony says, I have knots on the top of my shoulders. Is that the same as knots in your hair? No, it's not. But, okay, Anthony, you know what? I've got a good solution for that. Okay, so if you've ever seen a Theracane, okay, so look it up, Theracane. Somebody type it in the comments. Theracane. You can order it from Amazon. It's this weird looking green hook. I have 3 of them, and I do have knots in my shoulders, Anthony. So literally you can put it over your shoulder and grind into those knots. It is the best thing ever. And maybe, Anthony, you can make a ritual out of that and have your me time, since you don't do your ritual brushing for 3 to 5 minutes. All right, so post in here how you're gonna do a ritual, do something new. Maybe you're gonna do the ritual brushing. Try it out. And I'm so glad you guys hung in there. I know it's been crazy, and I'm so glad to see you all here. And I will see you next week on Wednesday, 5:30 p.m. All right, bye.